Hi, Acadiana. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. Welcome to your Friday. It's June the 20th. This is Acadiana Weather Today, a short morning chat on your upcoming weather conditions and how they're going to affect your day. Warm and humid out there, but it looks like we're going to see a little less rain over the course of the weekend. But I do want to remind you that storm season never really ends, and it's time to save the stuff that matters. Ritter Consulting Engineers uses Matterport 3D imaging to scan your home or business, which can be used for insurance purposes before and after a storm. They're also revolutionizing real estate, so buyers can tour homes right from their computer. Call Ritter Consulting Engineers at 984-8498 or visit their website. Well, checking out the sky cam showing generally fair skies. It's quite hazy out here this morning, and it looks like it's going to stay that way throughout the afternoon. Skies are going to be partly cloudy, and temperatures are going to be quite warm. As far as your morning commute, we've seen a couple of isolated showers, so you might run into a couple of wet roadways early on, and then a few scattered showers and thunderstorms will fire up later this afternoon that could impact some travels later in the day. But for the most part, I think traveling is going to be a little easier on you today and over the weekend, thanks to an upper ridge that's going to finally start to shut down some of the rain chances. Again, it is warm and muggy. Those dew points are quite high, so temperatures at night aren't able to cool off a whole lot. Mid to upper 70s, pretty general across Acadiana with some 80s right along the coast. And as far as the radar, we've had a couple of spotty showers here and there. No big deal. But for the most part, we're going to see partly cloudy skies. I do want to remind you there will be a couple of showers and thunderstorms popping up with the daytime heating later this afternoon, and that's going to be the coverage for the remainder of the weekend as more of a ridge of high pressure starts to build in the upper levels. Now, at the surface, we still have a bit of a trough off to the east, and we've got some showers and thunderstorms there over the southwestern Gulf, but that ridge that's over the desert southwest is going to start to extend off to the east, and at the same time we've got a pretty decent ridge of high pressure that's going to stay over the southeastern Gulf for the course of the weekend. So that's going to pump in the moisture off the Gulf waters, but because of a ridge of high pressure aloft, you're not going to get as much lift. So showers and thunderstorms, a little less coverage over the course of the weekend, which unfortunately means the heat is really going to be kicking up. So satellite imagery showing partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Again, a couple of pop-up showers and thunder showers here and there. We'll keep the rain chance down in the 30% range this time around, and probably down to 20% for tomorrow, and then starting to pick it up again to 30% for Sunday. Monday, I think that ridge is still going to hold, but then by Tuesday, it's going to start to lift to the northeast, and that's going to allow more of a southerly flow, and the showers and thunderstorms will start to return. As far as our temperatures, easily cracking the 90-degree mark today with heat index values over 105 and staying quite warm overnight tonight. In fact, there will be a few areas that probably won't drop below the 80-degree mark. And of course, with the weekend coming up, I do want you to practice that hot weather safety. Drink lots and lots of water, take breaks, and get into the shade or air conditioning as often as possible, and make sure you're wearing light colored loose fitting clothing. That'll help you out if you're going to be outside over the course of the weekend. If you got a pool, that's even better. As far as our offshore waters, things are not too bad. Winds are going to be out of the south at 5 to 10 knots, seas running about 1 to 2 feet. Gets a little rougher there off toward the southwest, where we still have a flare-up of some thunderstorms, some of that from an old tropical wave, some of that from an upper trough that's moving west over the Caribbean, and also some moisture that was left over from what was Hurricane Eric that made landfall in Mexico yesterday. As far as the rest of the tropics, there's not much out there. We've got a few tropical waves that are working their way across the Atlantic Ocean, but at this point, there's no activity expected for the next week or so, according to the National Hurricane Center. But please join me later this afternoon live at noon for Let's Talk Tropics. We'll go over the models and see if there's anything out there over the next week to 10 days. We'll even peek at the GFS and see if they're still trying to fire up something during the early part of July. So join me there right here on Acadiana Weather Today. It's Let's Talk Tropics live at noon. Your forecast, 92, with a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. But really the heat and the humidity and the heat index values are going to be the big story over the course of the weekend. Temperatures are going to hover in the low 90s, nighttime temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, and heat index values getting as high as 108. Remember, 108 is the threshold where we kick in a heat advisory. At this point, we have heat advisories north of us and east of us. We'll see if we get that heat advisory to kick in later today. Again, that's when that heat index hits 108. That's the threshold, or if you're going to see nighttime temperatures not dropping below the 80-degree mark. Well, I hope you enjoy Acadiana weather today. If you do, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also turn on those notifications. You can also hear my forecast daily on Big 102.1, Planet Radio 106.7, and Freedom 95.1. You can also follow my social media pages, both on Facebook and X, and thanks to everyone who's already subscribed to Acadiana Weather Today right here on YouTube. Hope to see you at noon for Let's Talk Tropics. If not, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.